Hi there, Elise Dewsberry here from New Musicals Inc. with the 48th installment of my vlog, How to Get No Feedback from Elise. I want to do something kind of different today. I want to highlight for a moment a composer lyricist, very dear friend of mine, who has one particular song that illustrates a couple of my favorite things that can happen with lyrics. And this was a writer who had a particular talent for both of these things. The writer is a gal by the name of Cathy Elliott, who was a very, very dear friend of mine for many years. And unfortunately, tragically, she passed away in an accident about 3 years ago, I think. And it was a big loss to the world. She's from Toronto, so a lot of people might not have heard of her, but she was on the cusp of having a lot of people hear about her. And I wanted to talk today. I could pick many, many of her songs, and I have performed some of them. Some of you have probably heard me do her song Jack's House, which is something I could talk about at another time. But today I'm going to talk about a song called Wonderful. And after you've listened to this vlog, I would encourage you to go to YouTube and type in Wonderful Cathy Elliott, Cathy with a C, Elliott, and check it out. There might be a couple different versions of it online, but if you want to hear Cathy singing it herself, the writer, the composer lyricist singing it herself, it's the one with Cathy Elliott, and she's driving a car while she sings it. So there are two things that she does in here that are very common in her, in the way that she wrote, that I love. One of them is, I'm not even sure what the words are for this. There was a way that Cathy had, and I'm not sure I've heard very many other people do this. She was able to take two verbs that had no business being together and connect them in a way that just would sort of take your breath away a little bit. She did this at least twice in this song and many other times too. So listen up. It's fairly early on. The first one is the lyric, grind your teeth in your coffee. So that's what I'm talking about. You grinding your teeth and grinding your coffee are such different things, and yet we use the word grind for both of them. So I just love that lyric. You grind your teeth and your coffee. And then she has a similar one a little bit later where she says, you grab your keys and your courage. Parallel structure too, because of the way they fit into the musical setting. But the same idea, you grab your keys and your courage. She had a particular talent for that, and I think always catches my ear and my imagination when I hear a song that plays with words that way. The other thing that's interesting about this song, other than the fact that it's just a great song, and to listen to someone who's also a great performer sing a song they wrote that's great, it's well worth the listen. She does something else in this song that I love, which is where you take the hook of the song, and you repeat it a few times in the song because that's sort of what you do. But when you get to the end of the song, just a slight change to the hook completely recontextualizes it and completely puts a capper on the song in a way that is just breathtaking. Now, there's nothing wrong with simply repeating the hook and every time it's exactly the same, but there's a part of me that feels like once we've heard it once, it has lost its impact. So we enjoy hearing it again, but it never again impacts us the way it did the first time. So we get used to it. It just becomes, something, here comes that hook again, and that's okay. But if you can do something, my colleague Scott Guy calls this a twist song. If you can find a way at the end of the last time we hear the hook to change, the less you change to make this change, the better, so that we still recognize it as the hook, but it suddenly recontextualizes. So in this particular song, I'll give it away for you before you go and listen. Or you could stop listening to me right now and go listen to Cathy singing the song, and you'll see what I mean, and then you can come back and see if you were right. You will be. I will tell you what it is. So the hook of the song is something wonderful is going to happen to me today. And in the song, the character is singing about how crummy their life is and things are tough and problems are mounting. It's a really good song for us, coming out of the 2020 year that we've all been living through, because it really is about how life is tough. Things get worse and worse, but this die-hard optimist is saying something wonderful is going to happen to me today, and it's like she's trying to talk herself into it, and that's the hook, and we hear it a few times. When we get to the very end, and she's singing about how this wonderful thing is going to happen, it's going to be like a lucky penny, and then she changes up the hook. The last time we hear it, she says, and then you'll see something wonderful from me. So instead of something wonderful is going to happen to me today, the ending hook is, and then you'll see something wonderful from me. And that little twist of the lyric at the very end hits you hard because you realize, it isn't just wishful thinking. It isn't just the optimism of I hope something wonderful is going to happen to me. It's a conclusion that comes from, and once that wonderful thing happens to me, by gum, you're going to see something wonderful from me. Another time, hopefully, I'll come in and spotlight some other songs that do similar things, that have wonderful ways of working with words, or that twist up their hook like that at the end. But I wanted to feature Cathy today. So check it out. The song is Wonderful by Cathy Elliott. And I think you're going to enjoy some wonderful things from Cathy. So thanks, and take care. We'll see you next time. Toodaloo.